Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of SDSL Off the Track, and it is now week 9. And we have lots, or actually, some things to talk about, but we did have a lot of things happen this last couple of days. Uh, this last episode, it was just me and Caden for the Detroit part. But here we are once again, starting off with the usual co host. From the Knox to the Ville, it is the Novel to the Gen.
Okay, first of all, if I don't want to hear that again, but second of all, it is great to be back here.
All right, first time and last time, and then
Good.
from the east as well, it is Dorzy.
From the entire East Coast. I live on every state of the East Coast. That's me.
All right, and well, it is me once again, Lane Flores. So what a week we had. First off, we're gonna talk about with the usual thing called in other news. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the one thing that I probably didn't get to talk with you guys the last week, and that is the Atlanta finish. Uh, that was insane.
And probably one of the best finishes in recent years in NASCAR.
Did they steal that idea from Cars? No,
Yeah, but
that's
Kyle Busch
that
didn't
it
stick his
was
tongue out.
it was an instant classic for sure.
Yeah, it was a crazy finish. Daniel Suarez got them just barely. Uh, and then a lot of people were joking, making that reference to cars. If Kyle Busch was sticking his tongue out to try and cross the line with them, or if they're gonna go and race in a three-way tie in California, which actually did not happen. They were in the West Coast, but they went to Las Vegas the following week. So Daniel Suarez won the Atlanta 500, or yeah, Atlanta, and we go over to Las Vegas just this past Sunday, and Kyle Larson and the Hendricks Motorsport can't even talk today. Hendricks Cars .com number 5 wins at Las Vegas. As far as other
That means
news,
that's
good.
that's 3 Chevys in a row so far.
Yeah. So that is all the news from motorsports. I don't know anything else about sports. Pretty much, NFL Combine is going on. Well, it went through. I don't know if it's still extending to today. I don't really follow that. Spring training still going on. Some teams looking crazy. LeBron James just hit 40,000 points. Not only for the Lakers to lose to the Denver Nuggets the very same night. Um, but other than that, I think that is all the news we just have. That was this last week and the week before. But I did want to talk about the first thing that I actually did want to bring up that we just had yesterday on Wednesday. And we were all excited finding this out. And this is a sign for me to finish up seasons 4 and 5. And we'll talk about the brand new video game from Milestone Studios, the same developer that made the Hot Wheels games and the Monster Energy Supercross games, making the brand new Monster Jam video game, Monster Jam Showdown. And I want to take it off to Nafagen. What was your thoughts into this, the new trailer?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this brand new video game and the graphics. They look so awesome, mate. Definitely better than the Steel Titans models of the trucks because I'm sure that Steel Titans just used render 3D models for real life monster trucks. So actually getting to the design, the nitty gritty design of the trucks is definitely a plus by Milestone. And looking forward to see how the rest of the game develops, how other trailers come out, what else is going to be featured. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for it.
I want to take it off to Dora Z. What your thoughts onto the new Showdown video game?
Yeah, the graphics look really good. The trucks look fantastic. Specifically, that Lucas Stabilizer screenshot. Just seeing some trucks that are in there, like Raising Cane that we saw, is making its, I believe that it's Monster Jam video game debut. I don't think it's been in another video game in the past. But Ice Cream Man's returning, and from what we saw, 66 trucks and 140 paint schemes are in this game. It's going to be a lot to do in this new game coming up.
Don't forget the part. Apart from 66 trucks and the base game, we're gonna get 26 DLC trucks. And with the 140 points paints that we're gonna get in the video game, it's honest. We're all starting to question like, are we gonna see like color max D's or the Gravediggers, or you know, what other, or maybe even like any of the colored El Toro logos, like the black El Toro logo or the Nitro El Toro logo, which are both pretty similar but awesome, very looking El Toro logos. But honestly, this
Yeah, Jeremy, I think you said something about like mystery mutters, which would be kind of disappointed, but
Yeah, if all 140 different paint schemes were just mystery mutter.
yeah, but Showdown will be coming out soon this year. We don't know when. Now let's do make a prediction on that. Do you guys think it'll be out this summer or the fall or winter?
I'll say
hmm,
probably the fall. Still give
I'm
it
gonna
time
say
to
like
develop.
yeah, I'm gonna say the end of summer, like right like at the dead end of the summer.
I'm gonna have to go with the fall. From what we've seen so far in the trailer, I think they're still gonna have a lot of time to, complete the game. So what we've seen so far, we've seen mostly just off-road races. We've seen a stadium so far with the Megalodon clip. That is Anaheim. So I wonder what other stadiums, or actually, this was in the press release for the video game by Milestone. It will include baseball stadiums, football stadiums, and speedways, which is honestly a first time ever on a Monster Jam video game. The thing that we don't have yet is arenas. We don't. I don't know. I kind of hope we do, which is the biggest factor in in real life Monster Jam. Of course, arena shows with 4 to 3 day 3 show weekends. But apart from the Anaheim model we've seen so far, which actually absolutely looks great, it looks almost just like the real deal. It looks better than the looks way better than the one Rainbow Studios made for their base games. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what you said.
Um, I'm not muted, right?
No.
Oh, okay, just making sure. But yeah, Monster Jam Showdown. We'll see what more they come out of. So we've seen so far I guess you could say like a leak. I guess it's because it says order and receive these packs. I'm guessing these are like a pre-order bonuses. Don't know when yet they'll announce that, but we've seen so far the original Maximum Destruction on a woman chassis too. We also seen the blue and new NEA police or New Earth Authority police. And then apart from that, we see Backwards Bob, and we had one friend that was speculating it's on a PEI. But from what I'm guessing, it could be on a CRD, just like the Steel Titans 2 model. But this one's even crazier. So we're all guessing that Independence will be in this game. So we kind of did get that confirmed with Raising Cane and Ice Cream Man being on there. Uh, the one truck we saw on that picture right above Backwards Bob is Big Kahuna. Starting off with Door Z, what did you think of that reveal?
Um, I'm hoping it's real. So far, no, I guess it's a leak, like what you said. I forgot what the pack was called. It was like two like unusual trucks together. But just seeing the brand new Big Kahuna that Shane England still has never driven at a show yet. That apparently fans will be driving this truck at shows before Shane will drive his own truck at actual monster truck shows.
Now for Jen, what did you think?
I think the addition of Big Kahuna is definitely an oddball, definitely strange, and adding Backwards Bob and NEA in there, the blue NEA, is definitely surprising since none of those trucks have competed in like 7 or 8 years. But the what is it, the Wellman Maximum Destruction, or as they call it, the Max D Original. It's great to see that truck back in the video game setting since the last time we saw that one was in Path of Destruction back in 2010.
That is right. And for the list of confirmed trucks we've seen so far are Megalodon, Thunder Raiders who will be making its video game debut, and of course we'll be having, like always, Monster Dalmatian, Gravedigger, Max D, a zombie, and then from other screenshots too, we've seen, like we've mentioned earlier, Raising Cane and Ice Cream Man. Apparently, we can also see a slight confirm of Sparkle Smash, Alien Invasion, and Northern Nightmare. And I believe that is all the trucks that we've seen so far. Nothing has been confirmed yet, other than the trucks we've seen on the screen caps and the trailer. But we hope to see more news. We probably will cover more news as they go on in these coming weeks and months. But other than that, that is Monster Jam Showdown coming soon this year. Uh, and now we'll move on over to the shows we had this past weekend. So we're gonna start off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live in Loretto, Texas, and Rockford, Illinois, and Lipson. Oh boy, that's a I don't know where that is at. But they were at Lipson. That is part of the overseas tour, and then I believe this is okay. This is Monster Trucks Most Wanted in Cleburne, Texas, with their lineup including Fatal Attraction, driven by Jeff Murphy, Ghost Rider with Johnny Davenport, Girl Power, who is unnamed on this list, and then Prime Time with Justin Murphy, and then the return of the Monster X tour in Waynesville, Georgia, starting off with Kyle Seesock driving Aftershock, Faith Freed and Animal House, Austin Spence and Boss Gator, Byron Cadigan and Quad Chaos, and then Donnie Hebert in Temporarily Insane. Now move on to R2D. I don't know. I don't recall this promoter. In Rapid City, South Dakota, starting off with Barely Tame, driven by Mike Rowley, Mechanical Mischief, driving a brand new 10-year tribute, or I believe, how old is Mechanical Mischief now? 10 years or more? Okay, complete silence. Mechanical Mischief, driven by Josh Baumgartner. Rampage by Tommy Verlone. Redneck Rampage by Rod Schmidt. And USA 1, driven by Rodney Tweedy. And then 2X Monster Trucks Live Tour in Camp Verde, Arizona, with Bounty Hunter under Rob Potter, Hot Tamale Mike Brister, Scarlet Bandit Don Crean, and Shark Bite with Dan Dahlgren. And then Monster Truck Wars were in Russellville, Kentucky, Salina, Kansas, and then Monster Truck Insanity Tour celebrating their 10 years in Klamath Falls, Oregon, with the lineup including Crash Test Dummy, driven by Dallas Glenn Rogers, Free Ride by Justin Elliott, Geronimo, driven by Brandon Swick, and Hillbilly by Tim Manchester. And then Monster Truck Nitro Tour in Salem, Virginia, and Medford, Oregon. Now we'll move on to Toughest Monster Truck Tour in Saginaw, Michigan, with the same lineup. And then now we'll move on to the last of the lineup here for the independents, and we'll take it over to Nafagen All-Star Monster Truck Tour in Merville, Tennessee.
All right. So this past weekend was my first opportunity to help out a tour with monster truck events. Both the two events this weekend at Smoky Mountain Speedway. Of course, the lineup has been the same throughout the year. John Zimmer Jr. in the Terminal Velocity, his papa, John Zimmer Sr., and the Uproar, the Robins, Triton and Crazy Train, Montana and Plain Crazy, Elliot Miller in the Colossus Truck, and also Athena Kozel in Little Miss Dangerous. It was quite an awesome weekend, to say the least, helping these guys and gals out with events. On Saturday afternoon, it was quite the mudfest, to say the least. The best trick winner on that day was John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Winning racing was the Colossus Machine in Elliot Miller. And going hard in freestyle was Colossus, breaking the left front wheel, winning freestyle, but Terminal Velocity got the overall. And over on the Sunday afternoon show, much better track conditions, which made for a much better show. Triton Robinson Crazy Train wins Best Trick, quite controversially if you ask me. But in racing, Terminal Velocity gets the win, as well as freestyle, and no brainer, he gets the overall. So it was quite an awesome weekend in All Star, and I'm very thankful for all the people that have helped me to learn the ins and outs of putting on shows because it is not easy. And I wouldn't have made it throughout this week if it wasn't for those awesome people at All Star.
Now you did share us that you got to keep a piece out of Colossus.
Yeah, I got to keep a left front axle shaft that he broke in the first show.
Looking through the clips here, what a huge floor you guys had for Speedway. Uh, as always, All Stars, it's just always great, no matter the lineup. This year is putting on a clinic, and like you said, in Merville looked like it was a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thankful for everybody who helped me with this weekend.
All right, now we'll move on to the jam shows we had this past weekend. Not a whole too lot actually went on. So be right there in just a moment. So we had quite a couple of shows, and I think we had only one tour or one series that was not running. Um, so we had four shows this past weekend. Arena West was in Portland, Oregon. Arena Central is in Rosemont, Illinois. And then we had Stadium East in Orlando, Florida, and then Stadium West was in Arlington, Texas. So we'll go ahead and start off with Arena East. If I can get the results here quickly. All right, Portland, Oregon, from the Moda Center. Let's pull it up here real quick. So we had four shows this past weekend, starting off with the Knoxville Man defeating and Jurassic Attack defeating Ashley Sanford and Megalodon. Your skills winner goes to Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars. For the relay competition, it was once again Thunder Roars. And then for freestyle, it was Matt Cody and Gravedigger. And then ending the night with 25 points overall, tying with Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars, but winning on a tiebreaker after winning the last competition is Matt Cody and Gravedigger. Moving on to show two. Once again, Jurassic Attack defeats Gravedigger this time. Moving on to the skills competition. Jurassic Attack is your winner with a 9.629. And for the wheelie competition, I didn't even see it was wheelie. Wheelie competition, Megalodon. And then for freestyle, it is this time Tony Hawks and Thunder Roars. But your overall winner, and this time, once again in a tiebreaker, 27 points each, is Gravedigger and Jurassic Attack. But on a tiebreaker is Gravedigger, getting 2 for 2 so far. Now we'll move on to show 3. Your racing winner is Gravedigger defeating Thunder Roars. And then for the skills challenges, once again, Thunder Roars. Wheelie goes to Tony Oaks once again. And then for freestyle, it goes to Ashley Sanford and Megalodon. Your overall winner this time on show 3 is Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars, 2 points over Gravedigger when ending the night with 30 points overall. Moving on to the last show of the weekend here in Portland. Starting off with the racing competition win, going to Jurassic Attack, defeating his fellow Team Throttle teammate, Berto Trevino and Massimo Rottweiler. For the skills challenge, it goes once again to Dalton Widener. For wheelie, it goes to Matt Cody and Gravedigger. For the freestyle, it goes to Matt Cody and Gravedigger once again. And going 3 for 4 here this weekend, it is Matt Cody and again a tiebreaker with Thunder Roars this time, 23 points each. But winning the tiebreaker is Matt Cody and Gravedigger. So he has now 3 for 4 this past weekend in Portland. And so far, what do you guys think of Matt Cody and his sudden late start into Arena West? What do you guys think? I'll start off with Not Virginia on that.
Yeah, this whole year has just been the year of fill-in drivers, and this is definitely a weird situation with Brandon Vincent being gone, which I hope he's all right. And Matt Cody, it's good to see him back competing in the domestic setting in the United States, and seeing him compete in Gravedigger is still something I had to get used to because he's always been driving for the Vaughters team, Black Stallion, all that. But it is great to see him coming back to the United States, competing in arenas, and he's doing a great job so far.
All right, and Dorsey, what do you think of Matt Cody and Gravedigger this late into the game?
Yeah, it's just something to say that Matt Cody will be driving for the rest of the Arena West series, and I don't know what is going to happen to the international tour, but besides the point, it seems like Matt Cody has definitely been improving a lot in behind the seat of a Gravedigger truck, and he seems like he's just right there with the top guys on that tour, and he looks like he's just gonna take the rest of the tour and win with it.
All right, and that was Arena West. We'll now move on to Arena Central this past weekend in Rosemont, Illinois. They had 5 shows this past weekend, starting off with show 1. Friday evening, your racing winner is Jamie Sullivan and Monster Dalmatian, defeating Brandon Tolochka and Just Get Her Done second generation. Your skills challenge goes to Just Get Her Done. Really goes to Weston Anderson and Gravedigger. For freestyle is going to Gravedigger, but your overall winner tonight here was Jamie Sullivan and the Dalmatian with 26 points, 3 points over Weston and Gravedigger. So that is your overall show 1 winner. Show 2 goes to racing winner goes to Gravedigger, this time defeating Jamie Sullivan and Dalmatian. The skills win goes to Gravedigger. The wheelie competition win goes to Gravedigger, and then for freestyle, it was not Gravedigger this time. In fact, it was Brianna Mahan and Scooby Doo. But the overall will go to Weston Anderson and Gravedigger with 31 points. Now we'll move on to show 3. The racing winner goes. Your racing winner was Weston Anderson and Gravedigger, defeating El Toro Loco. Your skills challenge winner goes to Gravedigger. Your wheelie competition winner is Scooby Doo. Freestyle goes to Gravedigger, and no brainer there. It is Gravedigger with 30 points, ending show 3. So show 4, your racing winner, it is once again Gravedigger. We'll talk about Weston here in just a moment, actually, because I do want to bring this up since we see this a lot. Gravedigger defeats Just Get Her Done 2 for the racing win. In skills, it goes to El Toro Loco. The wheelie competition win goes to Gravedigger. Freestyle once again Gravedigger, and 31 points. He is now 3 for 4. Weston Anderson and Gravedigger, and the show 4 with 31 points. And then on to the last show of the weekend. It is a 5-weekend show here, so show 5. Your winner of the racing finals is Jamie Sullivan and Dalmatian versus Scooby Doo. Your skills winner was El Toro Loco. Wheelie competition goes to Gravedigger. Freestyle goes to Gravedigger, but the overall does not go to Gravedigger. It is in fact going to Jamie Sullivan and Dalmatian with 27 points, defeating Gravedigger just 2 points over. And that is Arena Central from Rosemont, Illinois. Now we'll talk about Weston Anderson here. I know we're all not happy. We don't hate the driver necessarily, but we just hate how the treatment is going so far, specifically for Gravedigger, since he's so far ahead in the points. Now I'm going to start off with Dorsey.
Yeah, I believe he is now 211 points in the lead from Fernando Martinez. If I'm correct about that, I could be wrong. I know it's over 200 now, but that's literally insane. After the unfortunate injury Jimmy Sullivan had, 221 points ahead. I just looked at it, but it seems like Jamie Sullivan, again, still proven she's like the only competition for Weston, and that unfortunate injury is now putting her in 5th place. And I think we could have seen a pretty good battle between them two, but right now it seems like Weston basically has this.
Now, Jane, your thoughts on Weston Anderson?
Yeah, well, it could have been better to see like some actual competition with Jamie, like you mentioned, but I mean, what else can he do about Weston? The kid is a natural. You know, he won his first tour by 118 points, won last year's by 252. And I gotta take a look at the point standings real quick and see how many points Weston is actually leading by. Like Dorsey said, it might be over 200. Yeah, 221 points. I mean, the kid's a natural. What else can I say about it?
Yeah, might as well give Weston the title right away. Central, we knew from the beginning it could be, you know, a very easy win for Weston, and it looks like it is already. But we did not expect some competition out of Jamie Sullivan and a few others. Uh, but like Dorsey said, the injury took her out for a little bit, and she's now in fifth. And that was Arena Central from Rosemont, Illinois. Now moving on to Stadium Championship Series East from Orlando, Florida. Now we'll talk about here this show for a little bit. So starting off, Colton Eichelberger was not driving this past weekend, and also will not be driving this weekend in Jacksonville. But coming in for Orlando, it is Blake Granger, and the body he got to drive was a split maximum destruction and max D20 body. Starting off with Nafagen, what were your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on what? Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Blake Granger for Orlando.
Blake Granger. It's great to see Blake Granger back in domestic setting as well. Kind of like the Matt Cody situation, but this time Blake is actually in stadiums. And he did pretty well in Orlando last week, and we'll see how he does this weekend in Jacksonville.
Now, Dorsey, your thoughts on Blake Granger coming in?
Yeah, I think it's a little long overdue for him to have a stadium show in the USA, and he got to prove why he should be in it. He had a pretty okay weekend for his first show. I believe he got 16 points in that show, but just for like the first time ever in a stadium setting, I think that was a pretty good start, and I think he's gonna improve this weekend in Jacksonville.
All right. And so they only had one show this past weekend, and we'll start off with the racing winner. Tyler Meninga defeats Gravedigger. He defeats Toddler Duke and Megalodon. He basically sweeps the entire show because there's nothing else to say here. But Tyler Duke and Megalodon actually stayed consistently throughout the night. Uh, he got second place in racing, second place in the skills challenge, and got third in the freestyle competition. So naturally, he was only 4 points under Gravedigger, who won 36 points overall, and Megalodon 32. So we'll talk about Toddler Duke. I think he's been keeping up. I think he's been getting a lot better lately. He's been keeping up again too. Dorsey, I know you were just in a discussion with this earlier. What are your thoughts on Toddler Duke?
All right, here we go. Okay, let's just say great. Okay, let's just say this is definitely an improvement season from last year. I will say last year was definitely like the worst season he has ever had. But this season, it seems like still not Toddler Duke standards by any means, but he's definitely getting more wins and he's staying more consistent. Probably his new crew chief is doing very well with him, and his truck isn't breaking all the time. And he's just putting on solid runs and he's getting the scores that some people might say he doesn't deserve, but he's keeping the truck steady. He's not trying to break the truck, and he's trying to get a score because of the new rules in the Monster Jam 7.
All right, not for Jen, your thoughts.
My thoughts on Tyler Meninga?
Toddler Duke actually, or both.
Yeah,
Whichever one. Uh, Not much to say about Tyler Duke. I mean, what's he in at points? Is he like fifth or sixth right now?
he's in third.
Oh, third place. So it's good to see him still moving up there. Just staying consistent, or trying to stay consistent at least. I know he's voiced a lot about the new moves of Monster Jam, but yeah.
And then I think Tyler has like a 34-point lead now after this past weekend. So seems like Tyler's getting the points back up again.
Yeah, into the points here after this specific series. So after an awesome weekend in Detroit, they're moving on down to Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, for one show as well. Starting off with one thing, so we've seen Charlie Falcon come in and, well, he normally drives Megalodon in the International Series. We saw him come back. I believe it was for East. I don't remember what weekend it was. He drove Stabilizer, but he came back this past weekend and drove the name he has not driven since 2020, and that is the Black and Green Wrecking Machine Gravedigger, taking driving duties for Adam Anderson. So your thoughts on Charlie Falcon coming back, and we'll start off with Nofagen.
Charlie Parkin and the Gravedigger. It just fits perfectly. Singing back in the Chucky dance and Black and Green Wrecking Machine. You love to see it, especially if you're an old fan.
And then Dorsey, your thoughts on Falcon.
Man, this is the only time that I will root for Gravedigger is when this man is behind the wheel of it. I think the best decision fellas should do right now, since Matt Cody is now driving the rest of the season in Gravedigger on the West tour, is to move Pocken into that Gravedigger truck for the international tour, and then have someone else fill in for Megalodon.
Right. And so what an awesome weekend they had in Arlington as well. We'll talk about some of the controversies here in a moment. So starting off with the racing final winner is Ryan Anderson and Son of Digger defeating Bar Musauer and Zombie. Your skills challenge goes to Son of a Digger in an awesome move. I'm actually have to bring this up first because what was all of that, Ryan? Um, so I'll actually start off with Dorsey. Did you watch what he did?
I actually did not see the skills run. I saw everything in freestyle, and I didn't really watch the skills.
All right, Nafajen, did you see Ryan's running skills?
I did see his running skills, and oh my gosh, he went off.
Yeah, what a crazy move! What a crazy man that man Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Um, honestly, Wes is starting to look a lot better now. Uh, after Detroit and Arlington, uh, Ryan Anderson wins skills in an awesome Anderson skills fashion. Now we'll move on to, and actually hold on for skills. Charlie Pocky and Gravedigger got second, right behind Son of Digger, which is awesome to see. Now we'll move on to probably the best controversial thing we've seen ever. Starting off with Charlie Pocky and Gravedigger, he hit a container, and they finished his run right there. And we all call BS on that. So I'm gonna actually start off with Dora Z. What do you think on that?
Yeah, it was kind of controversial because of what happened earlier that night with Camden, which we'll go over that in a second. Uh, I don't know. Multiple people hit the barrier and only one truck got shut down. That doesn't seem right, especially with points.
And then Dora Z, your thoughts. All right, now Jen, your thoughts.
I am Doors D now. I am the door.
I'm
But
not Phil.
anyways, back in the day when Tom Meents would flip over and land square on top of the barriers, he would just be able to keep on going. But nowadays, if you just love tap the barrier, you get shut off in minus 10,000 points, it feels like. Like, what in the world? That's all I gotta say.
Right. And so we'll move on to the winner of the freestyle competition. Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. So, like we said, it was a bit of controversial with Gravedigger getting shut off after hitting the barrier. Camden Murphy gets, after completing a backflip, he goes moves into the container, helps him get propped back down, but the run continues. And not only that, he is able to continue his run after almost every single RRI that actually would have been called right there. I'm trying to let that video load here, but since it won't, we'll talk about it here. Starting off with that run, Camden Murphy, my man. I actually believe this is his first competition win here. Dorsey, is that correct?
For what, of the season or just in freestyle?
Season actually.
I think he's won. I think this is his second freestyle win, I believe. So let me check on that. Well, he's gotten actually. Now that I'm looking at it, he's actually now won every competition twice. So he's gotten two racing wins, two skills, and now two freestyle wins.
All right, but let's talk about that freestyle run. What did you think?
Dude, this man looked like he was playing like Steel Titans or just playing a video game with that truck. He saved that truck four different times, like basically in a row, from just like flipping over the truck, landing on all four BKT tires, from almost wiping out into two sidewall saves. Um, that was probably like the most craziest freestyle run I've seen, even though it was a little controversial of him not getting shut off when he hit the barrier after that backflip.
Right, and then Nafijan, your thoughts on the freestyle run?
Camden Murphy is a madman. He went absolutely off that night, and I'm sure his crew had to stay up all freaking night after the show fixing that truck because it had several dents in the chassis, body parts were flying everywhere. But that's what fans love to see, and they got themselves a show that night. Awesome run from Camden Murphy. Definitely, I would personally consider it as a nominee for Stadium Freestyle of the Year. And after seeing all the action from Arlington that night, I'm very excited to see them all in Birmingham in a few weeks.
Right, and like Scott Douglas said in the past video games, like his famous line, "Body parts are just flying off," and that was Bakugan Dragonoid this past Saturday. But that was an awesome show. It looked like a bit of a controversial calls for basically just freestyle, but other than that, that was a wicked awesome show for West, and they just keep getting to be better and better. Now I did actually want to bring this up since I did not bring this up in the last one, and it is now the sponsored Monster Minute, which is of course sponsored by the brand new movie coming out in just a few weeks. Actually, it is Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. Nafijen, your thoughts on this?
I'm sorry, come again?
What were your thoughts on on the sponsored Monster Minute?
Oh, wait. The Godzilla and that stuff?
Yeah,
It's definitely a thing. I'll tell you that much.
It's a thing of the time where I don't know. It's a little strange, just a little sponsor thing, just to promote the movie. I don't think it's anything too special.
yeah, nothing to.
Except for the encore this year. Wait, what? It's
Yeah,
Rampage all over again.
everyone keeps thinking that this is gonna lead like to like a little encore stunt involving the movie, but if that is the case, I don't think that will be. And if it was, it's gonna be 2 months late because World Finals is in May, and then the movie comes out literally just in a few weeks this March. So I don't think that will be the case. I think it's just that for this month and the next month. I think, but I don't see it as a stunt. All right, now we'll move on to the points, starting off with Stadium Championship Series East after this past weekend in Orlando, Florida. Your current leader and still is Tyler Meninga in Gravedigger with 446, Tristan England and the JCB Diggertron with 412, Toddler Duke and Megalodon bumping up spots with 359, and then Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and 345. And then you could put a whole list of drivers here because it is Tom Mentz, Blake Granger, and Colton Eichenberger representing Max D with 340. And then your points for Stadium West after two awesome weekends. Your leader is Ryan Anderson and Son of Digger with 466. Adam Anderson and Charlie Balkin with Gravedigger 416. Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid with 397. Barry Musaver and Zombie with 364. And Corey Rummel and Megalodon with 341. And then current leader and still for Central, like we mentioned earlier, up by 221 points is Weston Anderson and Gravedigger with 851 points. Fernando Martinez and El Toro with 630. Brianna Mahoney and Scooby Doo is 597. Brandon Talochka and the Just Get It Done 2 with 570. And Jamie Sullivan with Joe Dennis. And then Monster Mod Dalmatian with 534. Now move on to Stadium West for their points. For West, since East was off this past weekend. Matt Cody and the Gravedigger with 865. 101 points over Tony Oaks and Thunder Warriors with 764. Dalton Weiner and Jurassic Attack with 717. MJ Solorio and El Toro with 581. And then Ashley Sanford with a Megalodon with 538. And that is your points from week 9 this past weekend. Now we'll look into the shows we have this upcoming weekend for week 10. And it looks like we're about to have the same amount of series running this past weekend. Actually, no, we have all 5 this time. So starting off with Arena West in Vancouver, British Columbia. One thing I did not get to talk about the other episode as well was Joe Yuri now driving with Earthshaker, or I think I might have. I don't even remember. We'll go for predictions here in a moment. Actually, we'll start right now. So I believe we have 4 shows this upcoming weekend in Vancouver. And let's make our predictions for the overalls. I'll start off with Dorsey.
Vancouver is Central, right?
West.
Or is it West?
It's West.
Okay, so 4 shows. I'm going to say Tony Oaks gets 2 and Matt Cody gets 2. I'm going to say 2 apiece.
Then now for Jen, your overall predicts.
I'm going to go with Matt Cody taking 2, Tony Oaks with 1, and then Ashley Sanford with 1.
Now for my predictions, I think it's going to be somewhat similar to Dorsey. I can see Matt Cody and Gravedigger get 3, and Thunder Roars gets 1 here. We'll move on to Tupelo, Mississippi, and we'll talk about the one thing here we got returning this upcoming weekend, and that is the return of Kurt Kramer's Hot Seat. They will have 4 shows as well. Correct. 3 shows this upcoming weekend. So we only got 3 overalls to predict. So we'll start off with Nafajan. Who do you think will get overall in Tupelo?
In Tupelo, Mississippi, I think I'm going to go. Wait. Oh, there's only 6 trucks? Come on now.
Well, yeah, this one's non-points. I don't really care about this one.
Okay. Give me Armando Castro to win 2 of them. Kristen Anderson with 1, and Zach Gardner with 1. Wait. Oh, wait. Never mind. Armando Castro 2, and Zach Gardner 1.
All right. Like mentioned, this is a 9 points. Go ahead.
I was just going to make my prediction and say it's going to be a clean sweep of Mark Hall.
Nice.
I mean, I don't care. It's a non-point show.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Kurt Kramer's taking it home. All of them. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So non-points for East this upcoming weekend. However, we do have a points show in, I believe, Little Rock, Arkansas, for Central. And we have only 2 shows this upcoming weekend. So only got 2. This might as well be easy. Actually, Dorsey, kick us off.
Oh, Weston. That's all I need to say.
All right, then now for Jen.
Have a nice day.
For Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh, just 2 shows this weekend. I'm going to go with, Weston for both.
No brainer, Weston. 2 shows only in Little Rock. Now we'll move on to the shows that are more exciting than the arenas, and that is the stadiums. And I will start off with stadium.
I mean, I mean, Stadium East isn't really that exciting.
At this point, yeah. Um. Okay, so a quick correction here on the website. It does say Colton Eichelberger is driving. However, Blake Ranger is taking driving duties once again for Jacksonville. So they will have one show in Jacksonville, which means one overall. Dorsey, who do you think?
Man, who do I think or who do I want to think? Who do I want? I want Tristan England because he's only gotten one. See, now this is the problem with this tour. Well, it's not really a problem. It's just that it's kind of getting ridiculous. Tyler has won 12 out of 15 overalls. That's like probably the most than like any driver has ever won, probably on a tour in history. Who I want? I don't think Tristan's gonna get a second one, but just give me Tyler, I guess.
All right, then, not Virginia. Your Jacksonville prediction.
I think the overall event champion will be Duke in the Megalodon.
I think I might have to agree. I don't want Tyler to win. I'm going with Tyler Duke on this one too.
Every time I say Tyler, Todd has won. So I'm gonna say Tyler.
All right, you're cursing it first. Um, so that'll be Stadium East, one show in Jacksonville. Now we'll move on to make sure real quick El Paso, Texas, for Stadium West, and let's see what they're going to cook up this upcoming weekend in the good old Sun Bowl Stadium. They do have two shows this upcoming weekend, so I'm gonna kick it off with Dorsey. Who do you think will take overalls?
Man, this tour has been very exciting with different overalls. Like Bari just won the last one without winning any events. So I'm gonna say I think Ryan has a pretty solid lead, so I'm hoping the lead closes down. So I'm gonna say one for Adam and one for Camden Murphy.
All right, and Nafijan,
And for
you're
me,
yep.
I am going to say Adam Anderson wins one and Colt Stevens wins one.
All right, some solid
Oh,
predictions. Solid predictions we got here for West. My predictions here. I'm gonna have to go with like we said, we keep seeing different overall winners here. So I think I'm gonna have to agree. Colt Stevens will get one, and I also think Camden Murphy will get one as well. And so that is it for this upcoming weekend. That is all the shows that we have upcoming this weekend, and also the upcoming shows for the independent side. We'll kick off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live in New Orleans, Louisiana. Talk about Hot Wheels actually just announced a whole slate of shows for the summer and fall, a whole list of new dates that are being added, including Tacoma, Washington, which is interesting for the least to say. They will be in New Orleans, Louisiana this upcoming weekend, Council Bluffs, Iowa, and Malaga, España, or Spain. Sorry, my Spanish just all of a sudden showed up. Monster Rex Tour apparently has a show in Tuscumbia, Alabama, with no lineup. Uh, we'll see what that's. We'll see next week what's up with that. Also, has Monster Trucks Thunder in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, no lineup as well. As for what I'm seeing, 2X Monster Trucks Live in Andalusia, Alabama. They will be, they'll be there. Monster Trucks War in Henderson, Texas. Full Throttle in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Your lineup includes American Scout with Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot with Roger Gager, Bugzilla with Randy Barton, Caddy Wampus with Chris Cayas, Country Strong with Eric Howe, and how do you say it? Ray Bessel's Powertrain, Thomas Borders under the wheel, and then Monster Truck Nitro Tour will be in Lake Charles, Louisiana, with Jeff Murphy with Fatal Attraction, Tim Hall Jr. Jurassic Attack, Logan Tweedy Kamikaze, Thomas Kimmins with Kicking and Screaming, Justin Murphy in Prime Time, and then All Star Monster Truck Tour will be in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Same lineup as always. Monster Nation will be in Beaumont, Texas. Darren Basil will be driving Blockhead. Jerry Beck and Dirt Crew. Dozer with Jack Brown. And this is basically the lineup for Toughest. And that is all the independent shows we have this upcoming weekend. Uh, so, what do you guys are looking forward to this upcoming week 10?
Hopefully something different for Stadium E's, which, that hope usually never works.
I am definitely looking forward to. I don't know. Maybe just the stadium shows. They're both in historic venues for monster truck events: the Sun Bowl and Everbank Stadium. Some historical moments have came out of those stadiums, especially Jacksonville 14 years ago when Cam McQueen landed the first competition backflip.
Right on. And so that is all we have for week 9. Week 8 is also out just right before this, actually. So that is it. We can't wait to see what week 10 will bring to us. And now we're going to start closing it down. Starting off with the ads, starting off with Nofagen.
You can find me at Nothogen on Instagram and YouTube. Go check out the All Star shows for Marvel this past weekend if you haven't yet.
And then Dorsey, where can we find you?
You can find me at your front door. No, you can find me at Dorsey at Instagram and YouTube.
He's the door with a Z on it.
Yep, that's me.
All right, and for your host with the most, I am Lane Flores at Lane_Flores2, and you can find me at the backyard. Just kidding. You can find me at Instagram, YouTube, and that is pretty much it. And then don't forget to follow SDSL Off the Track here on Instagram. Posting just mostly the stories for now, but we'll be making some more posts here hopefully soon. And then also don't forget to follow the main account, Steel Time Sports League, finishing up their season with the Beam and P. Congratulations to our series winners. Starting off with Savage Slides and Black Adam winning the winner of the Sunday tour. And then we also winner of the Saturday tour is Ryan WG and Thunder Roars. And then your Friday tour winner, it is Aceman and Gravedigger. So congratulations to those 3 guys for season 7 of Beam and P. And we can't wait to see for the World Finals in Nashville or Beam Nashville this upcoming actually days. We're not too far from it now, so make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube to check out the live World Finals in the coming days. Don't forget to listen to STSL Off the Track on Spotify, Podcasters, and YouTube. We're on the same channel. And then don't forget to pick up some merch on your way. That'll be provided down in the links below on YouTube and here as well. But that is it. That was week 9. And we can't wait to see what week 10 will bring. And we'll be out of the way. With this was STSL Off the Track. Week 10 starts right now.
Z door.